I'm hoping everybody can see my screen okay. And I wanted to personally welcome you to the AMTA conference. This is our first virtual conference, and usually we only have about 60 to 70 people who can make it to our in-person conferences. And for this particular conference, we now have approximately 320 to 330 people registered. Which is the reason for using the webinar format for a few of the sessions where it might be everyone. I'm Kelly Warble, and I am past president now of AMTA. So first of all, we definitely want to thank the many organizations who have sponsored us and listed here. So big thanks to Socratic Brain, Vernier Software and Technology, Pivot Interactives, and also Arizona State University's physics department. Without their support, we could not have done this conference. And then Bill, feel free to chime in with other items as I go along if needed. Okay. Thanks. We also want to start with thanking our outgoing board members. So that's Laura, Earl, Matt, and Mark. Your contributions to our organization have been invaluable, and we're really going to miss you. And we really thank you for all of the service that you've provided. And then I wanted to just take a few minutes to kind of welcome all the educators on this session and acknowledge that we're in very difficult times right now. And what I've been experiencing, I think, are shared by a lot of the teachers. We've been sort of anxious and worried that we're not doing enough for our students. I feel kind of strange even now because I'm sort of teaching while sitting. I think I'm used to standing, and it seems to represent, am I doing enough for my kids? And it's been a really difficult time. And someone the other day on a webinar I was at said, you know, it's really okay that not everything is okay. And you don't have to feel kind of constant guilt about worrying that you're not doing enough. And I just thought it might be nice for me to share just a few snapshots of my time during the COVID-19 schooling and the little tiny snapshots of inspiration that I've gotten. And this might be something that you know, as a teacher, you'll see a student 5 years later or 10 years later, and they'll have a memory of an interaction with you that actually supported them. And you didn't know that at the time, and you're surprised. I thought I would share a few little inspirations to me during this time. And I want all of you guys to think about where you see yourself in these little inspirations, and then maybe where you saw others during this time in my little snapshots, and maybe tell them what you did was really helpful and supportive for me. So I just have a few snapshots, and I'm not going to take a lot of time, and I want to acknowledge these are a sample of things that inspired me. They're not everything that inspired me during this really hard time. So I do see a raised hand. I'm hoping someone on the panel can take a look. Kevin. And Kevin, if you can type what you need into your Q&A, that would be helpful. So my first snapshot of inspiration, I wanted to say I was actually teaching a workshop as the Methods of Teaching Physics class when we suddenly transitioned to online teaching. And the people in that class, who I met with every Tuesday and Thursday for 2 hours, kind of became my support group during this. And all of them were teachers or pre-service teachers. And being able to talk to them every Tuesday and Thursday during difficult times was actually very helpful to me. So they kind of gave me the feedback and acknowledgement that all of us were struggling, all of us had different challenges, but just being able to check in with them helped me through the transition to online. And maybe there was similar people for each of you. Second snapshot I wanted to share was just our staff, Bill and Wendy, who did some amazing things during the original transition to everyone suddenly having to work from home. Bill especially looked into making sure our staff still got paid by looking into the PPP program, which my sister told me was easy to get a loan, quote unquote. And Bill said, hey, it's not so easy, but he did manage to find some support for our organization. And then we had a ton of workshops that had to be canceled in the summer. And Wendy dealt with all of that, not only did that, but then managed to organize and launch workshops that became all online, which was an amazing achievement. So I wanted to say you two really inspired me, so thank you.
Kelly, can I add a note
yeah,
about that, which I think, thank you very much. I want to acknowledge Colleen, who did a lot of extra work, especially over the last few months, helping us with this. But then not just us, but all of the leaders, you know, the AMTA sponsored courses, as well as all of the other like regional, you know, STEM Teacher Mass Bay and in Iowa and all these different places, ASU. A lot of really dedicated professionals, you know, workshop leaders came forward to have a lot of meetings and spend a lot of time talking about what this would look like, and then work together to produce the syllabi. So they were instrumental really in even allowing us to move forward with summer offerings. So a big thank you to them.
And also a big thank you for all the teachers who have been able to register for all the distance learning workshops.
Yes, thanks very much, Wendy and Bill. My third snapshot of information were probably, they don't even know that they affected me like this, but it was really small teacher interactions that were helpful to me. One was Jack with Positive Physics, who hosted and gave free accounts to a bunch of AMTA teachers when we were all trying to transition online. And then both Holly and Mark, in certain different board meetings, they would say little things that changed my thinking and really inspired me. Holly was kind of pushing for clarification on a lot of items that really helped me. And Mark was on a few board meetings from New York City at 7 p.m. And I think he mentioned once, and Mark can put in the chat if I misquote, after several weeks, he did reconvene his class in New York City virtually, and the first day he had 100% attendance because his students were so wanting to have some kind of interaction with each other. And I found that very inspiring. It was just a small comment from him, but it was very inspiring to me. So thank you to all of you. So there's some of their organizations that they work with. And then my final really inspiring time was all the teachers with AMTA who helped push for, they've always been pushing for equity in their classrooms and for all of us. But after the George Floyd murder on TV, they really stepped up to the plate and said, you know, we need to make a statement and a commitment as an organization. And they worked together and made a really great commitment statement and gave us all suggestions as teachers for how we could meet this challenge. And Tanae and Ariel in particular facilitated a listening hour for our teachers, which was extremely inspirational. So all of those, I wanted to do a special thanks. So these were the people that inspired me. I imagine all of you have little snapshots of inspiration during your own times, and maybe something you can reach out to them and tell them, you know, this was really an inspiration. And then last and big in my heart right now is Teresa Marks, who she is now AMTA president. She's taking over the reins. And she coordinated this conference, but she coordinated a lot more than just this conference. She's been absolutely fundamental throughout this whole time. So thank you, Teresa. And also that this kind of goes to what Bill and Wendy were saying, all of the educators, all of the workshop leaders, all the members of this community, all of you have been a support during this time, and it's been extremely helpful. So thank you very much for your support and inspiration. So that being said, that's sort of my little welcome, and I want you to be thinking about all those people that inspired you, and you probably inspired someone else, and remember that as a teacher and a friend and an educator. So transitioning on, and before I move on, Bill, Wendy, Colleen, Melissa, any of my panelists, do you have things to add there, or can we go ahead?
Yeah, Kelly, I would like to add just a couple of things, because then I know where your slideshow's going. Hopefully your cameras are on and you can see us at least. You may see names a lot, but not always know the faces. So please just take a look at Colleen there, and Wendy and myself. I'm Bill Thornburg, the executive officer. But we're the three people that work to keep all of this moving the best we can. We have about 2,400 members spread out over 49 states and 48 countries. So there's a lot to do. We do our best to do everything possible to make AMTA the best it can be for our members. Our goal is always to spread modeling instruction. So we rely on our current members and workshop leaders through word of mouth. But today I'm sure that we are welcoming a lot of non-members into the conference. So, really take the time to take advantage of the sessions and ask questions and make some connections, so you can even reconnect maybe through Twitter or email after the conference. So just to echo a few things, thanks to Kelly for her service over the past year. And she's still going to be with us for one more, but we've made some changes and done some things differently in the organization that the general membership may not know about. But it's been a pleasure working with Kelly. And then Teresa has done an excellent job setting it up. And I'm sure that you received the reminder email from Wendy this morning with the agenda link. And it is a fantastic spreadsheet, which I never would have been able to do on my own. So thank you to Teresa. There's been a lot of legwork that Teresa and the conference committee have done over the last few months to make this happen. So Kelly mentioned, our past couple of conferences have only ranged between 55 and 65 people. So to currently have 133 on the call and to have had 333 register that may be in and out over the weekend is amazing. And then just a final note, other than just saying thanks for being here and enjoy yourself over the next few days. I just wanted to really say thank you to, we have a consistent group of donors. Some people donate once a year, which we appreciate greatly. Some people set up recurring monthly donations, which is awesome because I see your name come through all the time. I don't always send you an acknowledgement, but please know that I appreciate you every time I see your name come through. We currently recently ran like a COVID-19 kind of emergency fund because we were very worried. And I was amazed at the outpouring of support that we got from members and even some non-members making some really just jaw-dropping, unbelievable donations to help the organization. I think that I was able to reach out to all of you pretty quickly. Thank you again for your support. And then again, each of our sponsors has helped us in different ways, from access to the Zoom accounts to doing webinars for us and providing like Pivot Interactives, providing our leaders with free access to that and helping, being available to help out teachers that are taking courses this summer with how they can use Pivot in their courses. Vernier made a very nice donation and has been very good to us over the years. And Socratic Brain, who, if you're a physics teacher, you may have purchased the mechanics course book from them. But one of their co-founders is on the call today, and it's getting a little bit later in the day for him. I think he's still in Switzerland, but Mike Dolan, who is our new treasurer. So thanks to Mike and Stephen for Socratic Brain's support. And that's it for me. I don't have anything else to say other than thanks to everybody and have a great day.
Thanks, Bill. So Teresa, I think I just promoted you to panelist, so you should be able to talk now. So I'm going to sort of share the conference norms and the schedule here so you know how to navigate the conference, but I want Teresa to be sure to interrupt and add as needed. So as far as norms go, we do have some things set up as a Zoom webinar and most things set up as what's probably preferred, which is a Zoom meeting. The webinar option we only invoked because we had so many registrants. We were worried that we wouldn't be able to fit everybody into all of our meeting rooms. We do have some meeting rooms that can hold up to 300, so we can that hopefully will accommodate everyone. For breakout sessions. During the webinar portion, it is a little strange because the participants can't necessarily speak. They're automatically muted. That's what you're experiencing now. I think all of us as modelers probably prefer the meeting format, but the webinar format will be for a few sessions. So when you're in the regular meeting, your faces will be shown. If normal, like normal, you can turn your camera on and off. It's nice to see your faces. So if it's practical and you can share your face in a meeting, it's very nice to do that. And also during a regular Zoom meeting, your screen name ends up sort of being your name tag. And you, during a normal Zoom meeting, you can double click on that and change it so that you can remind everyone who you are. And some of the things that you probably have all experienced, because we've been teaching remotely for a while now, it's better if you can mute yourself when you're not speaking, because otherwise you get a lot of feedback, especially if you don't have headphones. And you can use on the webinar feature, there's both a chat and a Q&A portion. On regular meetings, it will just be a chat box that's open. And then there's also reaction options, such as raising your hands at the bottom of your Zoom controls. So if you're new to Zoom, be sure to explore those and use them as needed. And then finally, on remote learning, if you have a headset, it does help a lot on sound feedback. So if you have one with a microphone, it is helpful for you to use those. So those are kind of the Zoom etiquettes. And I don't know, Teresa, Bill, if you have anything to add on those issues, or are we good? Yes, we're okay. Okay. So then the other thing that I wanted to share, all of us wanted to share who planned the conference, is we're still modelers, we still value discussion in all of our meetings. And one thing that's been inspiring to us recently are some discussion guidelines that have been released by Step Up Physics. And they were really guidelines given by master teachers. And on this slide, this guidelines is actually a link to a different page, which I'll show you, which is the actual poster from Step Up. About how to have productive discussions. I saw this a few years ago and thought it was great for a modeling classroom. And they now make these posters for teachers if you become part of the Step Up organization, and you can post it in your class. But we conference organizers do feel that these norms for conversations also should apply in our Zoom meetings. So remember to share the airtime. Remember that people will have different opinions or perspectives than you, and value that. Do make sure everyone's feeling safe, but acknowledge that it's okay to sometimes feel uncomfortable or disagree. And then I really like one of the last ones about owning your impact, that your intentions may not be the same as your impact. I think many times we speak and we have an impact that was not our original intent, and that's okay. Give grace to others, but also be aware of what your impact is having during the conversation. So those are some norms for the conference. Next section, and I don't know if anybody has, Wendy, Teresa, or Bill, Colleen, do you have anything to add about conference norms or Zoom norms that I did not talk about? Or are we okay?
I'm okay.
All right, okay, all right. So then the next part is the logistics, and again, navigating all the different Zoom meetings we have set up for this. And again, big thanks to Teresa Marks for organizing all of this and getting all these links set up. We do have a conference folder at this link right here, tinycc and then /2020 AMTA conf. You probably have a link to each of the sections in our schedule too. So if you don't get this particular part written down right now, it's okay. And in most cases, everybody who is at the conference can take the link and view those folders so that you can see proceedings and notes from each session. If you have to miss a session and you are interested in it, we are setting sessions to record for the most part. It is true that if things go into breakout rooms, that will not be recorded. We are going to upload the recordings to the conference folder so you can see it afterwards if there's something you needed to miss and you really want to see what the discussion looked like. And then each of the shared folders has session notes. And for the most part, if you follow those folders, and I will show them on our conference agenda so you can see it. On the agenda here, you can access each session folder and follow the link, and then that will have notes from that particular session. And I did want to point out that the Google Doc notes in most cases are editable by anyone who takes the link. So if you're in a session and you are online, you can help take notes during the time, and then that will be available later to everyone. So don't forget to access those and take the links in the agenda. They're all embedded there. Next, we did try to make it so that you have to use a password to join some of the Zoom meetings. And if we set passwords, the password is always AMTA 2020. So if you're trying to join a session and ask for a password, that's what you try first. And then all the links, as you have all hopefully seen, are on this conference schedule. These links were also embedded into the PDF documents that got emailed to you by Wendy earlier today and yesterday. We think the links will stay the same, but if in doubt and you don't see it, go to the actual Google spreadsheet. That would be where the links are updated, as opposed to using your PDF document, because the PDF is static, it's not going to be updated. I don't believe there's going to be a lot of updates, but if an issue occurs, that's maybe how you can do it. And Teresa and Bill, am I missing anything here on this part that you want to say? No?
No.
Nope. Okay. All right, so next thing we wanted to try, and we don't know how this is going to go. We know one of the best parts of a conference is being able to be in the lobby sometimes just to check in with people. So we have set up one of the AMTA Zoom accounts to be a virtual lobby. So if you want to pop into the virtual lobby, you can do that at any time. Going back to my conference schedule here, you'll see the links to the virtual lobby over on the very right-hand side of this agenda. If you take this link, that will go to the virtual lobby room. We are going to try to have someone who is the host of that lobby room in between sessions. So if you go there and meet someone and want to go to a breakout room with that someone, the host can put you into a breakout room to have a conversation. That won't always be manned. We're not sure, but that's someplace you can pop in between if you're wanting to have a talk or just meet someone informally. In addition to the virtual lobby, which we don't know how exactly it's going to go, but we hope it will go. You can also go to the lobby if you have technical difficulties. Hopefully someone will be there that can help you. The other thing we have added to the agenda is maybe you're in a session and the session is about to end, and that Zoom account or Zoom room someone needs to use for a different session. We also established a keep the conversation going Zoom link. So if you're in a session and it's about to end, you might agree, hey, let's go meet in the keep the conversation going room so we can finish up our last thoughts. That is also on the far right-hand side of your agenda here, and has been provided to all the facilitators so they can direct you to go there or say, hey, we can meet up in the Keep the Conversation Going place. So those are two options that are a little weird because of our virtual experience here, and we'll try it out and see how it goes. That's what we do. We're teachers, we're modelers, that's what we do. And then actually, I think that was it for the overview of the schedule, and I would like to open it up for questions or comments, and I'll take a look at Q&A. Don't forget about Twitter. So Mr. McKinley says, don't forget about Twitter. So Teresa and Bill, do we have a specific Twitter hashtag set up for the conference that you know of?
Yeah, it's at the top left, Kelly. If you just go to the agenda real quickly.
Okay.
And we can
Let
point
me do
that out. I threw it in the Q&A as well, but it's hashtag ModSci2020.
Okay, let me go here. Oh yeah, here it is up in
Yeah.
the upper left corner, if you guys can see it. Okay.
Yeah, so if you hear anything good today, throw a hashtag on it, and be sure to call out some people maybe in your room. At AMTA Teachers is our official account.
Any other questions? I think someone just commented it's so organized, and that goes to a lot to Teresa Marks. So thank you, Teresa. If there's any other questions, please feel free to stay on for a minute and put it into the Q&A. But right now we have scheduled time for just a little break for everybody to go get some coffee. And Teresa, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe the next session starts at 9:45 a.m. my time, or 45 minutes past the hour for everyone's time. And that will be the new normal sessions that we have organized into different breakout rooms, so you can have a conversation with teachers in your breakout room. So I'm kind of trying to look at the chat. Oh, don't forget about the happy hour. So Teresa, I think Holly says, don't forget about the happy hour. So you can go to any of these sessions throughout the day, and of course, take your own breaks as needed. Some of them will be full sessions, but I think we have them mostly set up as regular Zoom meetings, so everybody will be able to talk easier. And then there is a virtual happy hour scheduled for 4:15 Pacific, 7:15 Eastern time, and you can take that link and it will be monitored, and you can even be organized into different breakout rooms. So I'm trying to look at, someone did ask if the breakout rooms will be recorded. They will not be recorded. Unfortunately, that's just not an option with Zoom accounts, and it does take up a lot of memory. So in general, no, breakout rooms will not be recorded. Someone who's teaching freshman conceptual physical science asked, what sessions should I go to? And in my opinion, I think either the physics sessions or the middle school sessions, both of those could have very valuable information. And remember, you can always go into one and then say, it's not for me, leave the Zoom room and take the link to the other Zoom room. So it's not, you aren't stuck. You can leave and go into another room just like you would with a normal conference. Someone registered this morning and didn't get the initial confirmation. They should still be able to join all the meetings, and it is okay that you sent the link to the spreadsheet. Every once in a while on our AMTA mail blasts, a few people don't get them, and we haven't quite figured out why. So yes, that's fine. And then the notes, yes, are available for each breakout session. That was another question here. And you can access those, everyone can access those by looking at the session folder. As you follow session folder links, inside the session folder, usually there's a few slides to motivate the session, but then there's also a Google document that I believe is editable by everyone who follows it. I think that's how we have it set up. And so what we're hoping is people participating in the sessions can come down to the little notes link for that specific session and insert notes, help the facilitators and the moderators keep track of the notes there. So it's sort of a shared document and organization. And I'm going to try to open up both my chat and my Q&A. Yes, you can only join one room at a time, Colleen noted in the chat box. Is it possible to receive PD hours is the next question. Oh, yes, whoever was speaking, go ahead.
Yeah, it's me. Sorry, I wanted to just clarify something regarding the question about breakouts. The discipline meetings are all individual Zoom sessions, and they will each be recorded. The only issue is that within those, if their breakout rooms are used, what happens in the breakout rooms inside of them will not be recorded, but the discipline meetings themselves will be recorded. So if you are sad that you're going to miss one in order to go to the other, the recording will be available.
Thank you so much, Teresa. So yeah, I was confusing breakout session versus breakout room. Yes. So the main room of the session will be recorded. Oh, go ahead, Wendy. I'm sorry.
I would like to answer the question about PD. So since there's no way of anybody keeping track of who attends which session, at the end, we will send out a certificate of attendance for the 2020 AMTA, annual AMTA conference. So we will not be able to add in any hours just because the way it is set up this year, but you will receive a certificate.
Okay. And looking at it, I don't think there's more in the Q&A that I can see or the chat that I can see right now. So I want everybody to feel free to leave this room whenever necessary. Take a short break and then go join, follow the agenda and join your desired session. I will stay on the line for a couple minutes in case people want to linger and ask a few more questions. So welcome to the conference. Thank you so much for attending. I'm really looking forward to the conversations we'll have.
I'll hang out, Kelly, too, in case anyone has a question.
Okay. Okay. And I'm going to stop sharing, but I'll keep an eye on the Q&A.
Okay.
Thanks, Matt. Thanks, Holly. I see your comments.
Holly.
What happens in breakout rooms stays in breakout rooms. Thank you, Christina. Appreciate it. And thanks to definitely go to Teresa, Bill, Wendy, Colleen. They've done so much work. Dan, thank you. And it's great to kind of see you, at least see your name, Dan. Hi, Arlinda. It's good to see you too.
Okay, so it looks like maybe not many questions, so that's good. So I'm going to go ahead and step away, check on my children, and I will.
Let's do that.
I'll be back in a few, okay? Good job, Kelly. Thanks.
Okay, thank you, Bill. I'll probably see you throughout the day.
Okay, all right, bye.
Bye. Hey, Fran, I just put you as panelist. Are you here? Let me unmute you.